I'll tell you from the street.
Yes, legendary, iconic. He lifted us and continue to lift us in so many ways. Keep the round of applause going. From the time that man came out in the 90s, me on the West Coast, dissecting lyrics, finding strength in it. Same thing happened across the board, across the world. Iconic in so many ways, but you can never do it alone, Heather B.
Right.
You can never do it alone. You is only as strong as the people around you and the family around you. So keep those applause going because it was their vision. Rough Rider Entertainment, the Dean family, it was their vision that saw the talent and decided to put the energy and the investment in it and present him to the world. Eve, Deluxe, Swiss Beats, Dragon, Jen, Fiend. Come on. And the legendary DMX. They had visionaries when they brought in that car culture, that bike culture, that canine culture, representing the streets and beyond to corporate accomplishments. Wanted to have this man and salute him for protecting and cradling and carrying and supporting and being there for that man, Earl DMX Simmons, when none of us was there. He on the line right now from Rough Riders Entertainment. Give it up for my man, D. Dean. D, what up, baby? D, what up with you, brother?
Hey, what's up, baby? How you doing?
Wow.
Come on, D. D.
I'm here.
I love you. I love you, brother. Tell your family I love them. I love you.
Thank you very much, baby. We appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. We've done so much, D. It's interesting, man. I've been watching, going online and seeing all these different pictures. My own personal testimony, different pictures of that people posted with themselves and DMX, and I was in it. And it made me reflect. it made me reflect on how many times I actually got a chance to just interview that guy and be around him. And the last time I saw him was at the Soundset. Heather B was with us, and Big Horse was with us in Minneapolis, and he performed. And he was one of the headlining performers in Soundset in Minneapolis, and just reflecting, man. It made me think of you guys and all that you have done. And I want to say thank you to Rough Riders Entertainment.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you getting on the show with you and speaking to people, whatever is needed of us. For X, we participate because we got to keep them alive regardless, no matter what.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely, man. How is his family? How are the family doing? How is his kids doing? I know it's hard right now.
I mean, right now it's pretty hard, so everybody's grieving quietly. Everybody's in their place right now in their own little space, and they're taking it. You know, you gotta when it comes to these situations, we have to adjust to them. You know, it's not nothing you look forward to it, but when it comes, they know like everybody over here is pretty much. You know, we got to deal with strength, and we build everybody up that's not strong, so they can deal with it the right way, and they understand why he's not here, understand why he was there. He did his job. He served the purpose, and for us, we feel like, you know, it's God's calling. It's all in God's hands. So when he say it's time, it's time.
Yeah, and we all have our time, right, D?
Yep.
We all have our time. Man, can you talk to me about prior to him going into the hospital? What was the last time you actually got a chance to talk to him? How was it?
The last time I spoke to him, probably maybe could have been like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I speak to his main people that's around, which is Craig. I speak to them every day, every other day to make sure he's all right. I'm like pressure for him. He don't want to talk to me every day. So I'm not the one he want to talk to. So I gotta talk through people to him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I work. I always worked it with him. But if I get to him, then it's really a problem. So I was speaking to Craig, and he would just give me an update on everything, how he's doing and different things. So I spoke to him probably a month ago. But it's all a blessing. Things happen for a reason, and we we just deal with it and we keep it moving and keep them in our prayers. That's all we can do.
Absolutely, man. I want to ask you. It's such an amazing story. I thought BET did a great story too when they covered the history of Rough Riders, and you start finding out more behind the scenes things that happen as you guys develop this entire movement, man. But you remember fun times like the first time you met DMX? What was it about him? What did you see, or what did he do to make you think, okay, this guy, we got to sign him to us?
You know what? When I see my brother and them used to go to school in Yonkers, which where Tiny lives, which is the guy that introduced him to DMX. So he had he was talking about rap. So if you know us, we from the streets. We was in the street. Period. It wasn't nothing to talk about. The music was a blessing for us to prevent us from going to jail or getting killed or whatever it may be. So he came up with he had an artist, and he was like, I got a guy named DMX. And he took my brother to go see him, and then he listened to him for a little while. I probably came back in town a couple of days later. He brought him to me. I was on 125th Street, right there on Morningside. I remember this. And he pulled him up, and he got out the car. He was like, I got a rapper right here. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up. So I was just listening to him. And then I say, like we always would say to him, I said, let me hear something. And then he just started rhyming. He was rhyming. And you know what happened? I never paid attention to music other than what I would listen to on the radio. But when I heard him, I just felt something different. I was like, oh yeah, he has what it takes. So I just felt it from right there that he was special. I just knew he was special the whole time.
Yeah. Well, you got a good eye in there, brother.
Yeah, indeed. For real.
Hey, D. When you look at me, do you get that same feeling that I'm special?
You know what? You know what? Yo,
Look,
that's so crazy.
Yep, that's how it goes. It was a blessing, and everybody's special in their own way. You're great at what you do. He's good at what he do. You just know people that are gifted and they're good at what they do. So you gotta just let them do what they do and support them. So I'm not good at everything. I'm just good at what I'm good at. You're good at what you're good at. He just happened to be good at getting the message across.
There it is,
Facts.
man. We got D. Dean from Rough Riders Entertainment, founder of Rough Rider Entertainment HB.
Yeah, D, what's up? It's Heather. How you doing?
Heather, how you doing, beautiful? How's it going?
I'm good, family. I'm good. What up to you? So glad to hear your voice, especially during this time. We spent a lot of time this morning talking about obviously X and celebrating his life and his legacy and his career. But for y'all as a company, what was that breaking moment for you guys when it's just like, yo, we made it, we did it? Was it Belly coming out? Was it that first album? Was it the 2 albums coming out in 1 year? What was that defining moment where you just was like, yo, this is crazy?
When we thought it was crazy for me, but I wasn't really paying attention. I was just doing the music because I love doing music. Mm-hmm. But the moment that we probably really, really seen it was going to be something big is when we did the video Stop Drop, when we had like 100 bikes. Mm. Different people was listening. So the movement, we seen that it was it was bigger than what we expected to be, and it was the Stop Drop that made me say, whoa, this is, I got to focus.
It's not a game.
I gotta focus.
Yeah, they got your full attention after you've seen that. You gotta be like, and it was it was a give and take for us because we grew up. We from where everybody else mostly come from or say they come from, and we was doing all the other things. None of the right things at this point in life. So we had to make a transition. If you're going to do this or you want to do this. So we had to make a transition to stop doing the things we were doing and do. We decided just to put all our energy into building the company and dealing with him. Mm-hmm. That was our call.
Okay, Stop Drop. And you saw all the bikes. You knew you had to focus. Okay.
That's the realest shit, man.
Right there, right, Tracy?
Yes, indeed. You know what I'm wondering, Dean? If you don't mind sharing, if you were a spiritual man before meeting X. You know, we spent all this morning just touching on his duality and how for a lot of guys, they didn't have the words to even begin a relationship with God. You know what I mean? To explore that other
Right.
side of them. So I'm wondering how that united you guys.
With spirituality,
Yes.
why he was so spiritual. You know what it was? He's more spiritual than me. Like I'm spiritual, but he's spiritual. So it was. I think it was his grandmother, if I'm not mistaken. She was spiritual, so she probably kind of installed that in him. And I kind of remember him, his grandmother. He always looked up and loved his grandmother more than anybody. So she probably installed it in him to a degree, and he just kept it and kept running with it. So I'm almost positive it was his grandmother that installed that in him.
And did you see, like, with everyone in your circle, were you able to notice like a shift in people's relationship with their spirituality just due to the influence of DMX?
Yep, I've seen a lot of it with him definitely because he was so. It wouldn't even be that. It'd be I see a shift right there on the spot because he'll walk by, and we might be walking in not all the time, but sometimes there'll be somebody that might need money or homeless, so he'll just stop, sit there on the floor with them, give them money, talk to them, and then people were sitting there probably for 2-3 days, and they'll get up and walk off with them. So I've seen them make that type of impact on certain people.
Wow.
Man, that's so powerful, man. It's we've been talking about this all day, D. I feel the brother's still with us right now. Round of applause, man. That brother's energy is still with us. It's
Yes.
in us, and as we celebrate his legacy, I want to make sure people know who he was, be off the mic and off the camera. If you can, man, can you speak to the type of person DMX was when he wasn't on the mic, when he wasn't on the stage, when he wasn't on the camera? Like, what kind of activities would he get involved with community and people and family?
Well, as time grew on, as time grew, because we've been with him about 20 years, probably more. But as time go on, things get better. You get smarter. You get wiser. You see things differently. So at the beginning, it was a rocky road because, he was having trouble with his addiction. So those were the hard times. And we just stuck it out with him for however long it took because we believed in him that much that we knew whenever he do get his time to shine, he would shine. So we stuck with him. We had him probably 8 years before he even got a deal. But we just believed in him. And we walked him through we walked him all the way until he got to where he got to go. And it was a struggle. But after a while, we had so much passion for the music, we lost track of everything else. We just believed in him. We just believed in him and his music. And there was nobody could tell us, no matter how long it took. We just believed in him. We knew one day when the people get a whiff of him, they would understand exactly who he was. They had to see him. We had to make sure they seen him before he got to this day and he passed, so the world know who he is. So we felt like we did our job with him, and that was a great thing. That's all we want them to know, that he did exist.
No, y'all did a phenomenal job, and you continue to do it because I know there's other projects coming. You mentioned this addiction, and I don't want to harp on it too much, but I also don't want to sweep it under the rug. And recently, I was talking with RZA, and we talked about ODB, and I asked him, man, what do you do when you're in that situation when your brother is dealing with addiction? And I know you guys all fought hard to help him during those times, but what do you find if there's other folks that's dealing with that? They have a close loved one, a family member, somebody they work with that's dealing with addiction. Based on your experience, what suggestions would you make to the people that's around that person?
Well, I was just speaking to somebody yesterday, and in all reality, there's probably one person in everybody's family that's on drugs, some way, somehow. So you have to embrace that, and you just got to try to help them as much as you could, because some people you can help, and some people you're not going to be able to help. But you still got to have love for them, and you still got to support them as much as you could and help them out as much as you could, because you know what happens? You never know when it's going to click, because I've seen people on drugs, and then one day they wake up and just stop. But you can't never stop talking to them, because as soon as you stop, then they don't hear no voices but their own. They got to hear your voice, some other people's voices on positive things, and eventually one day they might wake up and it click. So you just always got to stay talking to them. Never give up. Never give up.
Never give up. All
That's
right.
real.
Hey, I appreciate that, D. D. Dean is with us. You know, they say I remember going to the Rough Rider, was it the Rough Rider Cash Money Tour?
Yeah. That's right.
Man, dude. They say that's one of the biggest tours hip hop has ever made. You know, man, you got it. Man, you got a something that just blew your mind on tour that you saw happen with DMX on stage?
Yeah, you know what? As time went on, it was a repeat, because I just was be amazed because I know his tone and how he talks, so I just be amazed how he was able to control the crowd, because you got to remember this. He's probably the only artist that he'll talk. He'll be talking more than doing music. He'll just be talking to the people, giving them advice and telling them different things, and he'll drop a song, he'll talk again, and they would just sit there and let him talk. They didn't even care. They would just let him talk. So he was doing talking just as much as he was doing music, but he was talking, trying to reach the people. So those were one of the things.
The clip of that Woodstock tour, I want to say in '99, that's over 5 million people viewed. Were you there that day?
Nope, I wasn't there, but a couple people went. I didn't make it there that day.
You didn't make it that day? D sound like D, you were selective of when you went out on the road, huh?
Look, I go wherever with him to protect him. We do whatever we got to do, but he happened to go, and I know I didn't go that time because I don't remember, but a couple of my people was with him. I was somewhere else. I probably was somewhere else, but he was there, and you see what I mean? It was so many people out there. It was amazing.
It was amazing. I wanted to ask you, I saw he did a great conversation with Drink Champ. Shout out to Nori, EFM. Give him a big round of applause over at Drink Champ. And he talked about an album. Are there plans? What are the plans moving forward with Rough Riders and DMX's music?
Well, what we did was, I was in California probably like a couple of months ago. So we did another album on him. I probably did most of his albums personally, but this album right here is probably one of the best albums we ever did with him. The one we got right now that we're going to release soon, and it's just incredible. I can't wait to get some music to you.
Hey, man, you gotta, that's a tall, people put that on it, D, I understand it, but what makes this better than them amazing albums he dropped in the past?
Listen, because what he's talking about and how it was structured, you're not going to do, the way the songs are now, they probably wasn't like none of the other ones. Because, see, we had a system with him. We knew how to work the project, so me and Swiss, we would just get together, and Craig, we would get together, and we would structure certain things a certain way to make it easy for him to just rhyme. So we tapped into a lot of different things. So we got, I got one song that's called, and this is before he even passed. It's called when I say DMX, you say the great. When I say DMX, you say the great. So that's a good song. He got a lot of good big songs. So he got a song with Bono. He did with his Bono, Nas. He did a lot of good songs with different people. So he normally do the album himself, but we did a lot of features with this one.
Is there a Tupac feature on it?
No, we got the Griselda Boys. We got We got Pop Smoke. Who else we got? We got Snoop. We got a couple of people on there. I don't know them all off the top, but he got a good album. His album is very good.
Okay, man, D Dean is here, man. It's a lot of people on the lines, man. If you don't mind holding on with us, bro, they just want to pay homage and tell stories. Let me ask you this for his kids. A lot of people are hoping that his kids will be well taken care of, and just to ease folks' minds, what kind of provisions, if any, are you guys thinking to make sure his kids are the recipients of his residuals, or and they could own his legacy?
Well, with that becomes structured, that's gonna all go back to the business and lawyers, and we got to see how to divvy it up between all the kids and make sure everybody gets their fair share, and it's just making sure everything is assets and everything goes to the kids. So that's something we got to do with the lawyers and structure it.
Okay. All right. And then finally, man, who was one of his favorite artists that you knew of that he would talk about a lot? Like, who did he bond with most?
Let me see what artist he probably he liked. I would say he was a loner, so he got along with most of the artists, but he did good with Cam. He liked the Cam.
Mm-hmm.
He liked it. He liked the Snoop because we just worked with Snoop, so I definitely know he liked the Snoop because we did our album. Some of our album we did in the Snoop studio, so he bonded with Snoop. What was the other guy's name? He liked the Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke.
Yeah,
So
he liked him before he passed. So a couple of artists that he did like. He never really talked about art as much because we had to get into him doing features. So we did most of this song. This album was with a lot more features. So he was getting into dealing with more people and stuff. So he did Nas. He got along with Nas. He got along with Wiz Khalifa. All them artists was embracing him, and we all worked together in the studio when we was in California. So those were the last people that I know that he had a good rapport with.
And then when is the album slated to come out?
You know what? We don't even have no date. We just we mixing right now as we speak, and then we're probably going to have a couple of conferences after we do the burial and everything. Then we can get into the business. Right now, we're not pretty much thinking about that as much as we're thinking about the funeral arrangements that we're doing right now.
Okay, well, keep us posted on that, man. We got D Dean from Rough Riders Entertainment. We talking DMX. We got Ken on the line from L.A. Say what up to D, Ken.
Hey,
What
Ken.
up?
Hey, what's up, D? What's up? How y'all doing this morning?
How you doing?
Good. I just want to share a story. Back at the beginning of I'm a TV director and I'm in LA, and we had DMX on Moesha back about 20 years ago at the beginning of my career, and man, we prepared for him. We said, all right, he's coming. But, my experience back then, I said, well, he's probably going to be a little late. So I said, we're going to give him a 6-hour window. So I'm going to expect him 6 hours after his call time. So right on the money, he came 6 hours later, but we had shot everything we needed. And I'll never forget, he pulled in. We were in downtown L.A., and he's coming up Figueroa Street. I think we were at the Mayan place to shoot. And he came flying up the street, doing about 60 miles an hour in reverse. And
Wow. 60 miles in reverse?
In reverse. I swear, I'm no joke. And he swung the car into the driveway in reverse and jumped out. And he said, "What you need from me, dog?" And I said, "I need 3 takes." So he got up there and he did 3 takes, and I got it. And he's like, "That's it, dog?" I said, "That's it, but I got it." And it actually helped my career because I was just starting off as a director of my career, and it was on UPN, and I was trying to make my mark. And when the studio saw that piece that he did, I think he was going, "What's my name?" Man, they lost their mind. They were like, "Oh my God, it looks like a video. Oh my God, Ken, we're gonna give you more episodes." So I just want to thank that brother for helping my career and giving me some good laughs. Because man, that dude, I loved him, man. He was a great dude, and I really miss him.
He was definitely a good brother. So, you know what? The main people that was with him during that time, because I never really had to go on the road personally when he was out. But Ali was with him probably most likely. Ali.
Ali,
Yes,
Sammy.
sir.
Ali, you on the
Yeah,
phone?
Ali, yeah. Yeah,
You
he
been
Yes,
on?
probably was
sir.
there. You remember that, Ali? I don't remember that. You remember it, probably.
You know what I remember, about X, like the brother just mentioned, he was just so in tune with everything he was doing. Sometimes we would get places a little bit later than scheduled, but we would always plan for that in advance, right? Like, listen, if it was for 6 o'clock, we'd tell him it's 3 o'clock, and we just try to get there around 7, 8, and that's just because he's such a free spirit, and he was known for he's gonna come in and knock it out, and a lot of people say that, they call him one take Earl Simmons, like he just get in there and just kill it, and it was a natural at that, natural.
Ali, man. Ali, yo, it's a Sammy, right? Ali, Sammy. Is that your last name, Ali? Did I put too much on it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Ali, you used to do the rims, right?
That's what I was doing before I met, Rough Riders and DMX.
Yeah, man. Ali, man. Give this man a big round of applause. I know you were with DMX, thick and thin throughout it all, man. From your personal perspective, what made that man happy?
Oh man, helping others made him happy. The smile on his face when somebody would say, when he did stuff for nothing, and when he'd see them say thank you and God bless you, like that smile that he had on him would just carry on for the rest of the day. I've seen him literally take the jacket off his back and put it on somebody, and he was never materialistic. He actually, gave me a shot. He, shot that I didn't even know I wanted, and changed the whole trajectory of my life. He's one of the most selfless people I've ever met, and it's just never going to be the same without him for me personally. And we're going to keep his legacy alive and love him forever. He's just one of the most kindest, giving people I've ever met. Literally giving. Gave his all. Definitely
Absolutely.
gave more than what he took, 100%.
Gave more than what he took, man. It's
Wow.
Ali. Ali, you was basically managing him. Or what was your title with him? Friend and manager?
Well, when I first started with him, he was just like, look, just come on the road with me. I'm a, and that's it. He just wanted me to just be there for him. And, I want to say he was my teacher. He taught me everything. And, along with D.Y. and, everybody else that was involved, they took me in, and I'm forever grateful for that. It's 20 some odd years later, and we're still a family. They adopted me into the family, and I'm forever grateful to X for that.
Absolutely. Ken, by the way, thanks for your call, Ken. You're a citizen out of L.A., Ken.
Sway in the morning.
All right. We're gonna go to Amora's on the line from Connecticut. Grand Rises, Amora.
Hey,
What's up,
Amora.
Amora?
Hey, what's up, Sway? How are you?
Doing great. We got D on the line and Ali on the line from Rough Riders Entertainment.
Yo, I have to let you guys know I had the distinct privilege of having an internship at Def Jam when DMX first got signed. So I was sitting there in the A&R library, dubbing Get At Me Dog, going, you got to be kidding me. This guy is a huge hit. He's amazing. So I used to walk around the halls barking. Now, needless to say, I was one of 3 white people at the label, so I made myself really stand out. And I said, they said, why are you barking? I'm like, this stuff is so amazing. He is going to be huge. And then I got to meet him, and I was like, you're really kidding me that this man with so much faith has the courage to speak the way he's speaking. I mean, he started my artist career. I said, if this guy can rap about Jesus and rap about God and rap about believing in yourself and having a tough life, like maybe I should put my voice in the game, because I was rough sounding, and I had that rocky kind of touch. And by the way, Big Jeff says hello. I'm on my way to have a meal with him to talk about DMX and reminisce. You know,
Big
because
Jeff
my
from
life,
Z-
my
Big
life
Jeff?
wouldn't have been the same without him.
Hey, Maura, let me hear you bark. Let me hear your bark. What it sound like now?
Arr, arr, arr.
Represent, baby.
Okay, baby.
You see, he got people barking, man. Listen,
That's
let me.
crazy.
Yeah, man. Hey, D, you know I want to make a vow to be better connected with you guys, man, and know that any platform I'm rocking with is a platform for you guys. And Ali, you too, man. I know your history, brother. I know your history, and I appreciate, man. I want to say thank you. You know, I want to say thank you. I can't speak for the world, but I don't think anybody in the world will disagree. Thank you for what you guys have continued to present to this world in the way of culture and bringing us DMX. And we're going to continue to celebrate him. And as information comes in, please let us know in terms of services and everything like that, okay?
Yes, we will. We'll keep you updated. Sweet. Thank you for having us. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you too, D.
Anything
Absolutely.
y'all want to say in closing about DMX?
When I say DMX, you say the great.
Long live DMX the Great.
Long live DMX the Great. Thank you, Ali. Good to hear your voice. D, good to hear your voice. Send my love to the family, brother. We here for you, okay?
All right, Sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it. See you soon.
Every time, brother. Every time.
Boy.